Happy belated. I think your
Oh,
phone.
thank you.
Yes, happy belated. How was it? I know you guys like just celebrated. He said slide to the left.
What's going on?
What's happening?
You got it. You got it.
We were just talking about birthday festivities. So what you do? How you deck out the birthday, Marcus? Put us on game.
So we actually had to postpone the birthday. Because you know, when it's your birthday, all the family likes to come in and everything, and Aunt Flo came.
Oh, yeah. So we moved it to tomorrow. So we'll see. Because she wasn't in it. She wasn't.
Well, you know, I know we have to see now because mine is too, Kayla. That's weird. We just too much alike.
Yeah.
And you from afar. So
The spirits are connected.
Right, I know. Because Kelvin's visiting this weekend, so it's my birthday too. So
Hey.
It's the late night live.
Great.
It's the late night with the fire.
Okay, so I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm here now.
Okay, we'll share the camera.
I got to get some of this.
Oh, everybody's saying they got Apple Watches. Look, well, how do y'all feel about that? Like Apple Watches and like keeping track. I know y'all said y'all not with that, the Apple Watch crew.
It's not that we're not with it, we just don't have it. So
Which is why we're not with
right, we ain't got it.
But I like them. I mean, I definitely like the idea of them. It definitely keeps people accountable and it gives them a sense of community.
Mm-hmm.
So where you might feel like, man, I don't have a workout partner. You look at your Apple Watch and somebody in China be like, hey, bro, we about to go run in 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all right, cool. I'm about to get on there with y'all.
I like that.
Love that. Yeah. I mean, you can share it with your friends. So when they work out, it pops up and it's just like, so-and-so just completed a workout. And you're like, damn, let me get off my ass. You know what I mean?
I like how you keep flexing on us, like, you know, what you can do. In case you didn't see it.
What's the sitch, Ron?
I forgot the dang jingle.
Impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is actually Kelvin's. He was sweet enough to give me his and mine broke.
Oh,
His extra one.
You know.
So he's Ron Stoppable. So if y'all did,
you notice she said he gave her his. I'll give you mine if you want it. You want mine?
When you get one, just give it straight to me.
You want mine now?
No, I don't want it now when you get one.
Right, because I don't have one.
Anywho.
Welcome in, you guys. Welcome in.
Yes.
Cantron said they love Cook with the Cantron said they love the Apple Watch. Yeah. Motivation. I love my Apple Watch. See, hey, we need to add each other. You guys add me. I'm gonna put my little email address. Sorry. Put my email address.
Yeah.
I need some people to keep me motivated because it's just Lynice. I need like a whole team of people to hold me.
I get it.
We be looking at on Instagram the mile run club that you sent us. I'm like, dang, like it's just so lit. Yeah.
And last time I went, they did like a whole Soul Chain dance afterwards, like 20 minutes. It's the best energy. It really is.
It looks amazing.
It's definitely like a gym of Charlotte.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's heck of motivation over there.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, meeting. I said they're gonna follow me on Apple Watch. Okay, so when I get your notifications, I'm like, if I'm laying down just doing that, I'm gonna rise from the dead and I'm gonna go just run them out. Just because I get that notification. Anwar has worked out or like completed a workout. I'm like, okay.
Well, you do realize Anwar is tapping in with your boy, so I mean, you know, you might be getting a lot of notifications.
What have I done? Speaking of workout, Marcus put us to work last week. If y'all missed the workout,
Oh, that was just a little. That was something just to get the blood flowing.
Yeah, that was light work for him, but child.
That was good though.
We'll keep it at the appetizer, okay? Because that was too much. That was too much. But I
already said he don't want the appetizer. He want the full 27 course Thanksgiving meal. He want it all.
We got
96 yams and the gravy, and he want the little pecan pie. He want it all.
96 days. So, all right, y'all. It's 8:00. We want to go ahead and get this show on the road. Yes. But tonight, like I said, just doing a panel. We'll try to wrap this up by 9. Each person to kind of go, each topic we'll try to go for 20 minutes. You got 4 topics we're going to go over. But the panel is called Health as Well. So that's pretty much what we're going to be talking about. specifically health, any health disparities in the Black community. Today is Dietitian Day, as you can see here.
I see you.
I mean, it's not all about me, but I do want to highlight that in my portion. But we're going to go over 4 topics. One being nutrition that I will cover, just talking about basics of nutrition, just how we can implement them, just combat some myths here and there. Just from my experience, I don't know everything. I still have a working knowledge of nutrition. So I'll be talking about that. Marcus will kind of go over fitness, basic, safety, anything he wants to kind of expound upon his experience as a personal trainer. Kayla and Kelvin will talk about, how they fit or navigate nutrition and fitness and their lifestyles. So you'll get to learn a little bit about everybody today. And yeah, if you guys are ready to get this started, let's go. So I guess, I don't know who wants to go first. I guess I can go first.
I mean, it's Dietitian Day. So.
And you got all the initials. MSRD, LD.
How'd those get there? Like,
where those come from, Kelvin?
Kelvin. Kelvin, man. But those initials, yes, you guys. I'll just introduce myself. I'm Lynice Barnes. I graduated from Auburn University in 2020 with a master's in nutrition, or master's in science and nutrition dietetics. I've currently been a dietitian since 2020. There, 2020. Peanut. 2020, the year where everything just kind of came to a crash, So I kind of want to give a backstory with that. Let's start before college. I've always been in sports, high school sports, always like to stay active, what have you. But nutrition was never prioritized. And if anybody played a sport, anything in high school, you win a game, you go to Buffalo Wild Wings. You win a game, you're going to McDonald's. You're going to McDonald's before practice. Nutrition is not on the menu, okay? You have a metabolism of a jackrabbit, and it does not matter. It does not, to our knowledge at the time, doesn't affect any ability, for athleticism. And so it wasn't until I got to college, you don't have the same schedule, right? The world is your oyster. You got a class at 9, maybe not have another class until 3. So that eating window, that schedule that you were normally on in high school, right, where you're wolfing down breakfast before you started like class for the day. Then you got lunch, and then maybe before, your mom and them got home or after practice, you eating dinner. So 3 square meals at the same time, Now college, as if anyone, even if you haven't been to college, you understand that once you get an adult life, you basically can eat whenever you want to, right? And so with that, I was eating Chick-fil-A on campus at 9, then had a 10 o'clock class, and then I had to wait for the 3 o'clock class. I'm like, you know what? Denny's sound good. Chick-fil-A, I'm going to go to Denny's. So I'm eating flapjacks and turkey bacon and all this stuff at Denny's. And man, you got freshman 15, your girl gained freshman 30. Freshman 30. And I just had a pivotal moment. I went to school for speech pathology and audiology at first. And I had a pivotal moment when I was going to one of my chemistry classes, and I was walking up the stairs and like literally felt like my heart stopped. Like I just could not breathe. I had just so much weight on me. I was just like, God damn. Like the elevator was out and I had to walk on the 3rd floor. Needless to say, I skipped class that day because I ain't walking up the stairs. So I didn't go to class that day. And I don't know, I made a change. I made a decision. I'm like, you know what? I have to prioritize my health. I know nothing about nutrition. No, really nothing about fitness besides I played softball. So just running laps, maybe a few weights. Like I said, no type of athleticism in college or high school sports. We got to change that. But I will say that fostered just, the motivation to take care of myself. And from second semester of college till maybe I spent the whole summer just exercising, learning about nutrition. I lost upwards to 65, 70 pounds. So I dropped from 230 to numbers in the 150. And I changed my major in nutrition and everything was great. People were asking me, what did I do, to lose this weight and asking for advice, what have you. And I was just so motivated by that. I changed my major and set off to be a dietitian. Now that sounds great, but the story gets a little twisted here. I felt so much pressure from that change, you know, to, I don't know, be this thing. I started noticing the attention I was getting. I wasn't like the quote unquote fat girl anymore. I got attention from people I never had attention from before. I would go out with my roommate who was much thinner than me that would normally get all the attention from the guys. Now they were talking to me, and I kind of felt this immense pressure to keep up this look that it spiraled into an eating disorder. So I struggle with bulimia. And for those of you who don't know what that is making yourself throw up multiple times after multiple meals. I had exercise addiction. I was working out 2 or 3 times a day, running miles and miles in the morning. And I got down to like 140 pounds. And normally before high school and all that, I'm a pretty thick girl. You know, I stayed maybe in the 160, 170 range, like pre-college, you know. So I was never petite, but just that, and just how much I let it kind of overtake my life, not in a healthy way. I've seen kind of both ends of it. And I never like got, you know, professional help, but I did, you know, kind of have a come to Jesus meeting with myself when had like another moment where I was performing an act, a ritual, what have you. And I felt like my heart stopped. Like once again, my chest is like it hurt, you know, because if you're making yourself throw up, sorry, if this is, I should have put a trigger warning, but you're making yourself throw up, it's like, you feel that it almost just like overcomes you. Like it's just so dangerous to do that, by the way. I was just like, you know, I gotta stop this. This has to be a healthier way. You know what I mean? Like, let me be more intentional about what I'm putting in my body so I don't have to play catch up. You know what I mean? From this, like I don't have to play cleanup crew or overcompensate. And so I would say I just started involving myself with nutrition related things, got really heavy into the community and community nutrition, became like president of the nutrition club, and just, you know, kind of had that self-healing journey myself. And so, yeah, I'm kind of on that journey again with just learning it the healthy way with nutrition. I'm a dietitian myself. So this is what I do every day. I talk to clients about eating healthy. I talk to about habits, what have you. So that's kind of like my journey so far into nutrition. I know it was kind of like light and dark, but that's life. And
that's what I say. Yeah, that's real.
That's, you know, that's kind of my life at this point up until now. And yeah, that's just me. And I guess I want to kind of get into basics of nutrition. Or does anyone have any feedback on that before we start?
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
Joe didn't have to say all that, honey bunny.
Right.
But I know that's real, you know, inspiring, because a lot of people suffer with different, you know, disorders or diseases or, you know, whatever you want to call it. So, you know, that I'm sure that helps some people and gives a different perspective, because it's real, like you said. So thanks for sharing.
No problem. And it's not just, you know, white people, I'll say that, or Caucasian, or, you know, races or whatever aren't just subjected to eating disorder. Like it affects Black people in more ways than one. Whether it's not the extreme like bulimia, it could be binge eating, because a lot of us do that, and it's just masked as, oh, I'm gonna give me another plate. You know what I mean? Or, you ain't gonna get no more, man. Like
you did that.
Yeah, like, oh, you put your foot in that. I mean, people like literally traditionally, and that's why I talk a lot about, you know, with my clients too. We live in the South, man. Your auntie will cry if you don't get a second serving. You know what I mean? And, you know, we talk a lot about that, just how our traditional influences affect how we eat and what we eat. And you succumb to peer pressure so much. If you grew up in poverty, you know, you feel as though you have to eat everything that's given to you, because mama like, look, we eating over this lady house. Shit, that's it. You know what I mean? Y'all going to buffets on Friday when she gets paid. Like you just kind of, food as you know it has just been this thing that you just accumulate so much of. Even you get a whooping. Like, look, we ain't got to tell on y'all mamas, but I remember getting a whooping if I didn't eat food. Like, that's crazy. And our parents didn't know. You know, they only knew what they knew and how their parents treated them. But I love how we're just kind of waking up to that. Like, let's listen to our bodies. If a child says they're full, they're probably full. They ain't gonna starve themselves to death. They're gonna come down there and eat them peas eventually. You know what I mean? So I say that just innately, even, right? When we're a little baby, when we're done breastfeeding, we turn our head away. We know when we're finished eating. I just think over time and like outside influences kind of break away from that. You know, our parents, well, you got to eat at this time and that's it. And that's the only time food is offered. But that doesn't translate to adulthood, because we kind of eat, we kind of, come up with our own schedule in that sense. So that's a lot of what my job as far as outpatient encompasses, just giving people that power back and reclaim that power that they have over food. Someone's offering you something, learn how to say no. It's okay. It's okay if they get offended. Like, usually they'll ask twice. If they ask the third time, usually that's when they back off, because they're like, okay, now this is weird. I keep offering this person food and they won't eat it. Like, let me chill out. You know what I mean? So I always tell them to practice that. Like, if you're not hungry, just say, hey, I'm good. They ask again, hey, no, I'm really good, bro. It's cool. Like, I don't want. If they ask again, you like, all right, like, you put poison in this? I say,
right,
no,
what's
right. Try to make a little joke, like, you poison this, bro? Well, what you want me to eat this? And just lighten the mood a little bit. But a lot of what I talk about too is social determinants of health. A lot of people don't have access. So while, I'm a dietitian, I'm a clinician, I have the best interests. What if the nearest grocery store is 20 miles to you? You live in a rural area. You know what I mean? So we have to really think about these food deserts and people not having access to food, and do what we can to change that, whether it's like doing community initiatives, or, donating our time to like soup kitchens, what have you, anything centered around food. If there's a single mom that's struggling, inviting them over to dinner, you know what I mean? Just anything that's going to kind of bridge that gap, because a lot of times when there's poverty and there's food, the main reason why you still see someone that's overweight but they're in poverty is because of the type of food they are eating, and because they don't have access to healthy food. So I will just say that's kind of what I do. As far as nutrition, just some basics. You guys understand nutrition, food. I don't want to expound too much into it, but you got the main thing, right? We'll talk about carbs, protein, fat, right? Those are called macronutrients. I don't want to make this a class session, but we'll get a little bit about that. So carbs, carbohydrates, right? I know you here to avoid them. Do not avoid carbohydrates. Okay. Your body needs carbs. Your body uses carbs to metabolize all the other nutrients and vitamins and minerals in your body. And a little fun fact, what I tell my clients to put in perspective, your brain is the only organ that functions mainly off of carbs. It's called a glucose, which you hear glucose, think of sugar. You got carbs, they break down into glucose. So think about that. When you ingest carbs, it breaks down into glucose. So your brain has a blood glucose barrier. And so when you hear people do keto, right? No shade to keto. It does help people lose weight. But I will say, sidebar, weight loss does not always equal fat loss. Okay. You could be losing muscle, really destroying your body. So just because it looks aesthetically good and keto, I've lost all this weight, you don't know what long-term effects you're doing to your body. Another sidebar with keto, the only evidence that we have with keto is that they used it with children with epilepsy. And you'll see the correlation, right? Remember the brain, you got a blood glucose barrier. So your brain functions off glucose. You eat these carbs, it fuels it. So you ever hear when people do keto, they have keto fog. They feel really sluggish, like they're tired, they're cranky, because you're depriving your brain of its main nutrient. It needs glucose, right, to function. And so how that correlates with epilepsy, right? When you have epilepsy, basically it's just you're just signals going off, firing off in your brain. And so they thought, let's use keto because it's a low carb diet. We know that the brain uses carbs to fuel itself. And so that honestly is the only research. That's the last bit of research that's been shown with keto over a long period of time. So yeah, I mean, any dietitian is going to tell you any diet that is just eradicating one of the major macros, carbs, protein, or fat, that's bad. It's not sustainable. Your body needs all three of those. So that's carbs. You need carbs, you guys. Protein. You guys get it? They are basically amino acids, the building blocks, right? You need protein for muscle integrity. Protein allows you to feel satiated. A good diet allows you to rebuild muscle, what have you. That's the basics of protein. Not going to get too much into that. You need protein. A lot of people try to overdo it, but basically if you're going more than what your body needs, what is it called? It's expensive pee, right? So you're buying all these supplements like extra protein, super rad, 200 grams protein. Okay, your kidneys are like this is so much. why is he giving us all this protein? That's way too much protein. So I say to say, get with a dietitian, get with a healthcare professional, someone that understands macros and how to calculate that for your body needs, because they vary. And then fat gets a bad rap. Everyone tries to do no fat, low fat. To a certain extent, fat is good for you. It helps you control your hormones. Your hormones need fats to, function. Cortisol, it's our main hormone that wakes our body up. I know this is a crash course in nutrition, and if you guys have any questions after this, I can give that to you. But yeah, fats are really important as far as also staying satiated. You need proteins, fat, you need carbs. So I say all that to say the basic building blocks of nutrition, carbs, fat, protein, all of it is vital. All of it is important to incorporate in our diet. And for me, I'm a, what is it called? Hayes dietitian, health at every size. I'm also an all foods fit dietitian. I don't really believe in eradicating one complete food group because you have to leave room for life. And usually when you take off a food group that you really like off the table, you just overindulge in it later on. You just try to restrict so much, and then when you see it, you go rabbit. Like, is that donuts? I gotta have it. Like, it's just like, bro, you can have a donut. You can have what I mean? Like, leave some wiggle room. You're not like an extremeness, because that's what I'm saying. It's gonna happen. And a lot of times, we get in adulthood. Maybe we couldn't have these certain things when we're children, and a lot of our food choices are just influenced by power. It's a power struggle. I work hard, I earn my money, I'm gonna buy this food because I can. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so I get it. And usually it's some power that you don't have in another avenue in your life, whether it's your marriage, it's your job, and food is something that we can control. And I feel like a lot of times we're just trying to overcompensate. So I say that to say, maybe look outside of the food that you're eating, to align with your fitness and wellness goals, nutrition goals. Get with a therapist, talk these things out, don't eat your feelings. It's okay to maybe soothe sometimes, but really look outside of the problem, because it usually is food that you're trying to use to control a situation or soothe something. So that's kind of my little rant with nutrition. It is vital. It's important. I look at nutrition as science, and science is experimental. There is no one foolproof diet. Everybody gonna lose 30 pounds and have a big booty and a small waist. Like, it's not. If anybody on Instagram or social media is trying to tell you that, they're just trying to sell their program, And another thing, if you go on their pages and they only have before and afters of people losing weight, that's not a good telltale sign either that this is a foolproof plan. Yes, it's a good measure, but how's that person's relationship with food? I told you guys earlier on, I was very thin too and probably looked good, but I also was doing it very unhealthy, So I just say that to say, if you need help in that avenue, get with a professional. Seek professional help outside of the food, because it could just be, a cycle. You're depressed, you're sad, so you're gonna eat like crap. You feel like crap because you ate like crap, so now you're sad and depressed, and you just come into this spiral. So nutrition can be a beautiful thing. I say food is, the cure. Or Aristotle, someone said that. I don't know. I ain't read them book in a while. Food is thy medicine. I don't know, hippy dippy. But I say that to say I love what I do. I love talking about food. I love eating food. So I'm thick now. But thank you guys for just giving me that little spiel. But I have 2 minutes left. So anybody has any questions, I'll stop talking.
She just said a lot. I'm just dropping the gems, okay? Like, boom, put some respect on my name, what she said, okay? Yes. I think that it's very true what you said about the relationship with food. I don't think people talk about that enough, because just because someone is thin, like you're saying, are they healthy? I know me, whenever I get upset, I want a McDonald's fry. I want a fry and I want some ice cream. That's what I want. But, I've had to learn to control that.
That's not it. The chocolate.
I'm
just saying, because I'm the one going to the store at midnight trying to get some chocolate, some Kit Kats, some Twix.
I like Kit Kat, baby.
Me too.
I'm just throwing out stuff.
I do. I want to eat. And like you said, sometimes I do. Sometimes I'm like, girl, you're going to be pissed off when you wake up in the morning and you bloated, whatever. So you got to find that balance. But if I want he says all the time, if you want that donut, go ahead and get it, you know, because you will indulge later and then gain that weight back. So I've gone up and down so many times prior. So I'm like, what am I doing wrong? And it's because I cut out all those, you know, sugars and carbs, and I'm thinking I'm doing good. And then, you know, I start like, oh, I'm good. I'm at a weight I want to be at. And then I'm like, you know, Texas Roadhouse rolls, Hawaiian rolls, you know, crumble cookie, everything.
Damn.
Everything.
Yeah.
So, you know, surrounding yourself around people that understand it, like you and Marcus, you know, has helped me so much. And you've helped me a lot with just that segment as well.
I appreciate it.
Yes.
Yeah. Kelvin, you quiet, sniffy? You good?
I'm good over here. Just allergies fighting back.
Right? Like.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I mean, questions in the comments. You guys can save them for the end, but that's my spiel. Any other questions or follow up? Yeah, if that resonated with you, feel free to hit us up on Instagram at Love at First Sight SIT_, or my personal one, Life with Lynice, LYNICE. So, yeah, we'll let, I guess, Marcus or Kayla take the floor.
Okay, so I guess it's me. I just kind of want to piggyback on almost everything that you were talking about and kind of show it from a personal training standpoint, how the exercise influences it. Because I tell people all the time, and I struggle with keto a lot, because people think, well, I got to do keto. I'm like, keto is only supposed to be done temporarily. It's not a lifestyle that you can maintain. It's too restrictive. You're going to fail at it. And a lot of people don't understand, when you restricted those carbs like that and fat is your main fuel source, the second you start taking in those carbs with that high fat, it's going to completely explode. And I had a client that, you know, we had her on a liquid keto fast. And she kept telling me, Marcus, I'm not losing. And I'm like, how are you not losing? We gave you the liquid meals because you're always on the go. You can't get in the kitchen and cook. Okay, cool. We gave you the keto because you do have a tendency to overindulge in carbs. So we cut it back. We still gave you a little bit. I don't understand how you're not, and you're fasting. So I don't understand how you're not losing. Come to find out, when she came in after 4 days and gained 20 pounds, I'm like, time out. That's not possible. You're not going to gain 20 pounds in 4 days if you've been honest with me. And then here we go. Well, it was my birthday and I had the cake and the alcohol, and then I went and had the rolls, and it's like, okay. And then I was still drinking my shakes that you gave me. So I'm like, there we go. There we go. And a lot of people don't understand, if you're going to do some of these plans, you need to be monitored by a healthcare professional, because they're going to tell you, okay, now that we're finished with this keto, we're going to slowly transition like this. Or if you want to do a 48-hour fast, well, okay, you have to prepare your body to take in food. You can't just fast for 48 hours and then go to Texas Roadhouse and indulge on everything. That can have deadly consequences. Mm-hmm. And same thing with working out. A lot of people think, well, I'm going to fast and I want to gain weight and I want to bulk up. So I'm going to fast and then I'm going to do my cardio and then I'm going to work out and then I'm going to eat. Well, you can bulk up while you're fasting, but make sure that you do your exercise just before you break your fast and then refuel. And all of those glycogen stores that you just expended, here you go. Your muscles are primed to take that in and you can bulk that way. Or if you're trying to fast for weight loss, well, do your cardio while you're fasted. Don't do your cardio while you're in your eating window. Mm-hmm. And I tell people all the time, the best thing for you to do if you don't have a healthcare professional or somebody who really knows what they're doing monitoring you is just eat what feels natural to you. Because like you said earlier, as a baby, even as a baby, you know when you're full. So as an adult, when you get full, push that plate away. That's the best thing you can do in the beginning, is just push the plate away when you get full. Don't worry about, well, how much protein am I getting? You don't know how to calculate macros like that. So don't even stress yourself out with trying it. Oh, well, I'm gonna get a handful of protein right here. That'll work. Oh, okay. Okay, that handful of protein is gonna work. Well, this amount of carbs, don't do that. Just when you get full, stop. And I have a lot of clients that, what about the coffee and lemon? What about the coffee and lemon, please? It's nothing but, like she was saying, it's marketing, and people are trying to sell their product. The 60-second abs. The 60-second abs is really the 60 seconds you spend eating. That's the only way you're going to get your abs to show, is depending on what you put in your mouth. You don't have to do all the fancy workouts in the gym where you're doing the windshield wipers for your abs. And all the workouts in the gym are going to do is make your abs stronger and actually give you a lot more stability and allow you to lift more weight for other lifts. But when your abs show, it's because your nutrition is on point. Most high-level bodybuilders never do ab workouts. They just stand up while they work out because their nutrition is on point. That's why their abs show. So don't think you have to go in here and kill your abs 3-4 times a week. No, you're not going to do anything but hurt yourself. And cardio, people want to run on the treadmill for 4 or 5 hours until they're sweating buckets. And it's like, if you really look at how many calories you burned in that 5 hours, it's going to depress you. I tell people all the time, cardio is good for heart health. Yes, it's definitely good for your cardiovascular system, but it's not going to get you to lose weight like that. Again, you can't outrun a bad diet. It cannot happen. If you're eating McDonald's 3-4 times a day and running on a treadmill 5 hours, you're still going to have arteries that are clogged up. You're getting in bad fats. And that's what you need to avoid, is the bad fats, the trans fats. But fat is absolutely necessary for life. I mean, like Lynice was saying, your hormones are stored and regulated by fats. None of my female clients go below 35% of their total intake is fat. They never get below that because I'm not at all trying to have them in a hospital with imbalanced hormones. And that's what happens a lot, is women will come in and, well, I don't eat fat. I only eat protein and water. So you're telling me you have mood swings, you're irritable, your cycle is off, you're constipated, and you're dehydrated. Well, how do you know that? Because that's what happens when you don't eat fat or carbs and only take in copious amounts of protein and drink water. It's a vicious cycle. And the problem is, there's influencers on Instagram or YouTube that'll say, this is what you got to do to get lean. And like Lynice was saying, just because you look lean does not mean you're healthy. Even in the bodybuilding world, every single bodybuilder that's on that stage in that moment is unhealthy. It is not healthy to be 5'4", 3% body fat. It's not healthy at all. It looks great because you can see all the muscles, the skin has been thinned out, you can see the definition and all of that. But if you think about it, we actually do have to thin our skin so the definition can show. That's not healthy. In that moment, none of the guys on stage are healthy. So if you're thinking about that for your everyday life, don't have that as a goal. You don't want to look like that. As a woman, you definitely don't want to be 5% body fat. No, no, because I've had a lot of female clients where we have to dig into getting their cycle fixed because they're all over the place. And they're thinking, well, I think I've got fibroids. No, you've got an unbalanced diet. That's what you have. Let's get your diet balanced before we go to something as nuclear as fibroids. Let's have you talked to your doctor about this? Well, no, I just saw, or my aunt told me. Okay. The best way, the only time I'm telling somebody, hey, this is why you will listen to your friends or family. Do they have those letters by their name? Are they in the gym teaching people how to do this? Have they done the research? Have they taken the classes? If not, they don't know what they're talking about either. They're listening to some stuff somebody else told them as well. So if you're wanting to get healthy and you want to get in shape, just follow your gut, follow your instinct. Don't lift the weights that you can't lift. If it feels like it's too heavy, don't lift it. If the movement feels uncomfortable, don't do it. It just, again, listen to your body. Your body knows better than you about everything. Listen to it.
People need to hear that again, Marcus, because I'll be in the gym. They be like, oh my damn, you can't lift it, and that's fine.
Right. And I have to tell people, I just had somebody earlier today, and I said, bro, you're strong, yes, but you cannot do this exercise at 190 pounds. You can't do it. Drop it down to 70.
It's okay.
And guess what? that 70 pounds, he's like, oh, wait a minute. Wait. Yeah. Because now you're doing the exercise. Before, I don't know what you were doing. That wasn't that. I mean, it
was something.
Yeah.
Right. You were moving it. It was moving.
Yeah.
But you weren't moving your
I'm
back.
again because I laugh too much.
But no, you're good. But that's the reality of it. There's too many people they're trying to look strong and they're trying to impress the people around them and they're ego lifting. And next thing you know, you don't see them for 5 months because they pulled something. And I've been guilty of it too. I tried to go in and I was trying to impress Kay. I had just come off a back injury. I had just come off a back injury, and I hadn't worked legs in about 3 years because I got knee problems. I decided I'm gonna go deadlift 405.
Oh, we got that one on film too. Well,
Yeah. I mean, I didn't warm up. I did all the things that I tell all my clients not to do. I did every last one of them, and sure enough, got hurt in a matter of that. So use common sense. Mm-hmm. Leave your ego at the door. If you're full, don't eat it. If it's too heavy, don't lift it. It's that easy.
And that goes to just being into. I'm so glad you just said that. Look, just listen to your body.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Listen to your body. We block out everything, and I just put in the comments earlier. Everybody want to do everything except for just diet and exercise. Mm-hmm. Because for whatever reason, they just can't believe it's just that simple. Nah, it can't just be going 3 to 5 times a week and just, spacing out my meals, drinking water. Nah, it got to be the military egg soup foo young diet. It got to be the, you know what I mean? The most extreme exercise regimen. And it's, bro, you just said it. It's so simple, man.
And the thing I tell people all the time is this nutrition thing is more difficult than that. But that's the work that we do behind the scenes. We do the hard work, and then we give you the eat this. Mm-hmm. Because we've calculated all the macros. We've looked at your nutrient time, and we've taken and we've figured out, okay, well, what's your BMR? Okay, what's your TDEE? Okay, and now, okay, out of this is what we're going to eat. What our portion's going to be? Okay, what are your goals? What's your lifestyle? We've done all of that, so you don't have to. Mm-hmm. And just eat this and love it. Nuts like almonds, cashews, yeah. Good, healthy fats.
Yeah.
That's the name of the game. Omega-6 and omega-3 fatty acids do wonders. If you have joint problems, get some fish oil in you. It's a great fat. Don't run away from it. I just recently have changed my relationship with butter because for the longest I was like, I ain't doing butter. I'm not doing it. Butter's an animal fat. Some of the best fats out there are animal fats.
Yeah.
So yeah, butter's cool. Matter of fact, in my meal plan, people get fruits. You don't have to run away from fruits or carbs, or like she was saying, do not deprive your body of carbs. That keto fog that you get, it's because you're doing keto wrong. You're supposed to prime your body and get ready for keto and prep it to switch from carbs to fats. If you get that keto flu or whatever, you did it wrong, and you'll eventually switch over. But then, well, okay, now that you're in there, now do you know what you're doing with it? Because you'll feel great and your brain is going to function quickly because those fats are good for your brain. But this is supposed to be a temporary thing that you're only on for a couple weeks. And if you're trying to do this for 3, 4, 5, 12 months, you're messing up. You're messing up, and your body is being deprived of key nutrients, and it is going to just cannibalize itself.
It's not sustainable either.
Right. It's hard. It's hard.
Yeah. And if you find yourself just you go out, just I can't do that. I'm like, well, damn, what can you eat? Grass?
Right. Right.
The one time I tried keto, and it was like a couple of days in, I cussed Marcus out. That was the first time I cussed him out.
Hold on. She cussed me out.
My body didn't like it. Okay.
See, hold on now. She didn't cuss me out because of keto. I was trying to teach her how to count macros at the same time as keto.
Yeah. Yes, but either way, I didn't like it.
She also cussed me out when I took her off of keto and put her something else and had her counting the macros. Because I just wanted to learn. Trust me, I remember.
Okay, my bad.
You never let me live it down.
It's okay. It's okay. That was years ago. We good.
But you brought it up.
But so it's everybody wants a look that the people that are giving you that look on Instagram, they can't even attain it. I guarantee you, when that camera's not on, that gut's extended. These people just know how to do vacuums. And they can look amazing.
Editing is amazing too.
Yeah.
I literally watched a guy who was 135 pounds Photoshop to make it look like he was in the shower, had tattoos and abs everywhere. The tattoos were Photoshopped. The shower was Photoshopped. Everything on him was Photoshopped.
Y'all want to do everything, but like,
that
same work you could have just put into like a proper plan.
Yeah.
How many years did it take you to learn how to Photoshop that well?
Yeah.
I mean, that's nuts. You could have been.
Sad is there's a person somewhere across the world that's going to see that image and believe he actually put in the time to develop the physique and then follow some fake workout plan or regimen.
Yes, and I'm not going to mention names, but a lot of these people out here in Hollywood and these bodybuilders and influencers, they're telling you they're attaining these physiques naturally, but no, they're not.
Yeah.
No, they are not. And there's a time and a place for enhancements. There absolutely is. But be honest about it and say, hey, I got these results because I have these enhancements. I have super physiological levels of testosterone in my system, so I can attain this physique that you can't.
Yeah.
But you have kids that are looking at that saying, okay, well, I want to do the things and I'm going to eat the food and I want to get big too. And then they end up with some type of eating disorder because they're not understanding why they're not getting it.
Yeah.
Sure, we all done that. Like, I'm trying to, look like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of somebody.
No, just so-and-so. Yeah. Like whoever. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think you got to own your influence and understand how powerful it is. You know what I mean? Especially if you come on a platform and like just, profoundly make a statement and say, you guys need to do this and you need to do that. And I think, honestly, the sidebar for me, that's why it took me so long to seek help, as far as getting a trainer and a nutritionist. Yes, I have a trainer and a nutritionist, you guys. And for the longest, I'm thinking, I don't need one. I should know all this stuff, and just feeling this pressure, like even from other people in my profession that, have this perfectionism, right? And I think that's what took me so long. I tried a trainer 2 years ago, and she was like a very well-known trainer on Instagram, lived in Atlanta. It was just she was just mean. She would talk to us, talk down to us, told one girl, like, you've been training with me for 6 months and you still look the same. We were on a group fitness like setting. And I was just like, I looked up to you from like 2016. Like, I have been following her for so long. I finally moved to Atlanta. I'm like, I'm gonna train with her. And just so rude. I was just like, gosh, like, and that's what it's daunting to some people. That's why people don't want to get a trainer or a dietitian sometimes, because there's what they show up online is just these extreme, avatars that it has to be this workout like this, instead of leaving room for life, leaving room for, kind of lapses in your journey. And just like a friendly face. A lot of times, and Marcus will agree, some people are just they just need a friend, an accountability friend, someone that's fitness mindset and going to encourage them. They don't care about all the science and the jargon and all this stuff and being perfect. They just want someone that's nice to them, that's their cheerleader, because everyone in their circle is so, oh, you doing too much, you trying to get skinny, so negative about their journey. So yeah, to close that, I would say, yeah, y'all be careful with your influence, even as YouTubers. Something you say could have such a profound effect and influence somebody in the right or the wrong direction.
And just like everybody has a life, everybody makes mistakes. That same clown I was telling you had that 20-pound weight gain in 4 days. That same clown also lost 100 pounds. Because we all make mistakes. Sometimes we have to be snapped out of it. Sometimes it takes the lack of communication to get you to that place, but then it just takes, hey, look, you can do this. You're good. You got it. No worries. We're all still here. We're on your team. We got you. And sometimes it's also understanding, I got to get rid of some of these people around me. These are negative influences. And, when you're a trainer, and I'm sure it's the same as a dietitian, you sometimes have to tell people about the people around them. Like, hey, yo, if you really want this lifestyle, A, B, and C got to go. They're the reason you're where you're at. And sometimes the sessions that I've actually had hour-long just therapy sessions. We haven't touched the weight. It's just, let's talk, because it's clearly something bothering you and you're not going to focus in the gym and you're going to get hurt. So let's talk. Because a lot of this journey about health and nutrition A lot of it is mental.
So mental. And I mean, and I say that, yeah, I have clients come in, like the first it's like the self-deprecating humor. You know, I work in like a rural part of Georgia, so I'm gonna try the accent. They're like, I know you're gonna tell me I'm fat and I need to you're gonna tell me I don't do right. I know. You know, and they just like I just let them talk for a second. I'm just sitting there. One, they just can't believe I'm Black. They're like, you the dietitian? I thought it was a nurse down there. You know? They're just appalled. They see a Black healthcare professional, which that's just an issue within itself. Another day for another topic. But they come in and you like Marcus said, they just start to unravel what the real issue is. Well, you know, my husband, this and that, and he wants to eat this, and he, or if it's a guy, she, my wife, it's always someone else that is influenced. I'm not saying get rid of your wife or husband, but I say that to say it might be, I don't know, an enabler, somebody an enabler. You see my 600-pound life, people make the joke, like, oh, them booed up. Yeah, but them people enabling them. They need to if they got rid of them a long time ago, they probably wouldn't even be 600 pounds.
That's the person that's cooking the 12 waffles.
Right.
Period. That's a personal chef.
Okay.
Yeah. So, man, you hit the nail on the head. I know it's at 8:40, but really quick, can you give your like journey into fitness? Like, how did you kind of get into this? We kind of skipped that, but
so for me, when I was young, I was always little. I played football and my nickname was Little Man. I was like the second, maybe third smallest dude on the team. I think the water boy was bigger than me. And
I'm sorry.
And the problem is, you know, everybody kept telling me it's cool. You're going to grow into your weight's going to come. It's going to come. It's going to come. By the time you're 16, it's going to come. Well, I was 22 and I was still 155 pounds. That's not a good look. I'm 6'2". It's not a good look. And I just got tired of it one day. And so I was like, right. I mean, too hard. Hold on. And so I hired a trainer. And well, my first trainer, I was actually doing undergrad work. And they didn't do anything with me with nutrition. Nothing at all. So I got a lot stronger. But I never gained any size. I was just strong for no reason. And so I was like, man, there's something missing. So I got my next trainer when I moved out, got my own money and everything. And he started looking at my nutrition and he was like, oh man, we got to do this, and this. Well, you know, with training and I'm sure it's the same thing in dietetics, you have to learn your client and the client has to learn you. Well, in that phase of us learning each other, he was giving me tons of protein. And again, I got strong, but I didn't really get that big. And I'm thinking back now to what he had me eating, and it was probably 2 grams of protein per body pound. That's a bit extreme for somebody who is new to serious lifting.
Yeah.
There's definitely cases for that, but that's advanced. That's super advanced. I wasn't ready for that. And that goes to what you were saying about, you know, don't eat too much protein because you're going to have some problems. But so he started me actually turning the corner to get right with my nutrition, but didn't quite get there. And then I just lost all that weight after I left with him. And then it's like, okay, let me start taking this serious. But I got other people asking me, hey, bro, I've watched you gain weight. Can you train me? So I'm kind of like a self-taught trainer that had to go back. Well, yeah, you can come work out with me. And then I'll go pick up this book from NASM and I'm going to read it. And then, okay, cool. Let me watch these videos. Okay. Then I hired another trainer. And then he was like, yo, you can actually get up on stage. You got some good genetics. And that's when everything clicked for me because he has a degree in biochemistry. And so he started walking me through, this is how you do this. This is why you do that. This is why you eat this. Oh, okay. So now everything makes sense. So now I've got him in my corner and now I've got dietitians that I talk to. And it's like, okay, this is how I learn all of these things. And I've had some dietitians say, you sure you don't have a degree in this? I don't. I just ask a lot of questions and do a lot of research.
He did talk a lot. No shade, baby. No, I'm just saying you will ask questions and you do your research. He gonna make sure you do research. I'm sorry, that came out wrong. I'm sorry.
He do talk a lot.
But look, you got to. Knowledge is power, man. If you don't have it, you don't know.
And that's the biggest thing is I tell people all the time, if you're the smartest person in the room or in your circle, you need to go to another room and get a new circle.
Mm-hmm.
So I surround myself with people who do business better than me, who do YouTube better than me, who's dietitians, because it doesn't get better than a dietitian when it comes to food. And don't get get confused with the nutritionist versus dietitian. Look, anybody can be a nutritionist. Anybody can be a nutritionist. You have to go through a program that's more rigorous than becoming a medical doctor to become a dietitian. It's nuts what you have to go through to become a dietitian. It's because I thought I was going to do it. And then I saw the requirements and the year of non-paid internship, and I'm cool.
If y'all want a little insight on that, go on Instagram and look at our last post. I literally recorded my whole journey. So it's crazy.
It's nuts. It's nuts. So everybody appreciate what you're getting with Lynice right now, because this is years in the making. This knowledge is not attained easily.
Oh, thank you for sharing that, Marcus. And that's very vital. And just, you guys consult an expert, and it's okay. That doesn't mean that, you don't know anything. He consulted with an expert, and then, the apprentice became the sensei. That's how it works, right? We all have to learn. We are all students. Be a life learner. It doesn't mean that you're incompetent and that you're dumb. And I know that a lot of times in our community, that is just, I don't know, some type of notion like, you don't know this. I mean, even like 2 + 2, how many of y'all almost got a whooping? Like, you know this.
Yeah.
Just from a young age. It just inquiring and being inquisitive and like kind of being confused sometimes is not celebrated. We don't have that leniency that other cultures have. So, I mean, that goes outside of just the class and just life in general. If you want to learn something more about something, on this platform that we are on right now, you can learn a world of information, and it's just only going to make you a better person that you could then share to the next person. So I just love that you're self-taught, Marcus, and that, you I don't know, weren't like some of these other terms that shame healthcare professionals like, oh, I don't have a hippy dippy degree. I mean, to each his own. We learn the information the same way, and maybe you are more into the research too because you're self-taught than what I taught that maybe, it's not on the old curriculum, but you get what I'm saying? Like, I've also am 3 years removed from college, so things maybe have changed. While I do have continuing education credits, I'm not like really into the research, and maybe there's something that more current than myself. So I just love that open dialogue that we both can learn from each other. And I'm not trying to crap on you. Well, he's not a real, you know what I mean? He's not a dietitian. You're not crapping on me because my personal training certification expired like 5 years ago. So yeah, I love the open dialogue. So we can move it to either Kayla or Kelvin.
Go ahead, Kelvin.
Okay.
I'm up.
You up?
Yeah,
Let's go.
Okay. So I guess how I tie into this discussion, I personally have been battling, ulcerative colitis it's been a decade. Yeah, it's been a decade. I was diagnosed at 21. So how it kind of started with me, I kept going to the physician just complaining about stomach pains. They kept telling me maybe take Tums or watch what you're eating. And, me being 21 and all your friends are kind of 21 with you, I'm in that turn up stage of my life. So I'm like, oh, it's probably nothing. And the more I keep turning up, the more I keep turning, the more awful I would feel. Instead of like that day of hangover, it was more like a week of the same hangover sensation. And it turned into cramps and overall just complete fatigue. And then I would say about 8 months down the road, I got the colonoscopy, and that's when they let me know this is something that you will be bringing with you the rest of your life, and you need to figure out how to manage it. So also being transparent, when you're 21, at least for myself, still a bit hard-headed. So I'm thinking, okay, I can just manage it with diet and eat a protein shake every now and then. No, I really had to start limiting some of these foods. I'm a man that loves steak. I still eat steak now, but everything in moderation. You can't have red meat as consistently as you used to. Definitely don't eat fast food as much. And over, the past decade, it was just more so learning myself, listening to myself, being transparent. with my friends or family saying like, I'm really not up to it today, or I'm not feeling 100% like myself. I say I've had about maybe 5 or 10 flares over the year, about one each year. They get less intense the better I take care of myself. So now like my flare is just me just kind of feeling uncomfortable. Whereas at 22, it was a crippling pain where I can't even get out of bed, and I'm forced to kind of stay home for a week. But diet kind of consists of, I would say, I eat whatever I want. Lynice will tell you I kind of pack my lunch every morning. I'm really big on chicken, rice, mixed vegetables. I love asparagus. I love potatoes. But it's definitely something that I had to teach myself how to take care of, because it's me. It's my journey in life. And if I want to continue to be mentally present and have the best existence, I knew that I had to take care of me. Yeah. And, I still work a physically demanding career as a diesel technician. I've been doing that for almost 10 years as well. I would say it's like something that I carry with me that no one knows about. It's an invisible illness. No one knows that when I am feeling fatigued, when I am, just say days I just can't do something. Sometimes it's my UC. And I haven't let that stop me from having a career I've always wanted, traveling, social events, spending time with family and friends. Life truly goes on. You just get better. You get stronger. You figure out how to deal with it. You don't let that stop you from experiencing life. And I would say have a great life. Yeah. And it definitely helped me be more mindful, because my biggest trigger is stress. And I know with the diet, they're really big on what you digest. But if I feel stressed in any type of way, like that same discomfort comes back from them earlier 20s, the cramps, the overall just gastrointestinal issues. So I don't let anything stress me. Especially like fake friends we bought up on Saturday, like if I feel something like stuff like that, I don't have like, I've already almost lost my life twice to this with two bad friends. Why would I allow someone in my space that shouldn't be here on the very limited time that we already have here?
Right.
So just I limit what stressed me, and I would say I have a great life. I wouldn't change a thing. It definitely made me more aware of what I'm eating. How often am I eating this? Does this align with my current values and my health? Am I close to having a flare? Would this cause me to have some type of urgency in the next day or two? If so, what type of social event am I going to have this weekend? If I eat this, could I go to the rave this weekend? Because you might need to stay home. It's like I'm always thinking 2 days out. That's definitely what you have to do. If I know it's going to be a family reunion, I might not have dairy on Friday. I might have to stay home.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But it's just, you always have to think ahead. If you are flaring, for someone like myself, you got to know where your bathrooms are. That's a very uncomfortable thing that you have to be comfortable with. Is exiting the world and knowing that there might not be a bathroom available. It's like places do not care. However, there is a badge that's recognized in all 50 states that if they see it at any restaurant, they have to let you use your restroom. I don't possess it because I've been in remission for so long. I don't have those bowel urgencies. But there was times where like I'm feeling uncomfortable in public. Can I use your restroom? No. I'm like, please, I have this illness. No. You're just darting around the mall trying to figure out how can I get to the restroom. Why? Well, you're at work, and I've worked at some of the most unprofessional places in the past, and they're like, well, why are you going to the bathroom? You don't need to ask me why I'm going to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Excuse me. What type of violation is this? But it's a thing you have to get comfortable with until you kind of reach that remission state where it's like, okay, I can have a normal life and don't have urgent BMs and things like that. But yeah, I think I kind of said a lot. But yeah, once you figure out, for me,
I'm sorry.
you figure out once you get in remission, it's kind of, I always say I'm blessed because some people never actually reach remission. Some people they get treatment and they just have to figure out, all right, how can I function, or how can I still work and still deal with this illness? Thankfully, with the right medications, I had an amazing GI doctor in Chicago who saved my life. Her name is Dr. Carr. But until I met her, every doctor I had before, I kind of just felt like they were passing me along. But she figured out the diet, she figured out the treatment, and until you find the right doctor and you get the right treatment, it's hard trying to figure this out on your own. It is an illness that you can manage without seeing the physician. I do not recommend it. I recommend you get treated, you get the right medication, and definitely seek a professional. And you also have some type of diet. I do believe in cheat meals, just not cheat days, cheat weeks. I still eat the burger when I want. I eat the burger when I want. I have the steak on occasion, but mostly I have a very healthy diet. That's one thing Lynice pointed out when we very first met. She's like, "You pack your lunch every day." I'm like, yeah, I can't afford to. That's before she knew about my UC. But yeah, I'm a firm believer. Put the chicken, the rice. How I cook the chicken. I don't fry my foods. Everything is baked, or I put it in the crock pot. You definitely got to take care of yourself. If you want to have the best possible life experience, you will.
And I like the fact that you mentioned you put in the crock pot. Everybody needs to understand you don't have to have dry, stringy chicken breast. There's different ways to cook chicken that tastes good.
Yeah, definitely. I got it in the crock pot right now. That's what I was doing before this live. That's like 2 or 3 days worth of meal prep done. Out of sight, out of mind. Then I got the rice cooker. People complain, well, I don't like my rice plain. Okay, you can add to the water in the crock pot to give it flavor. Yeah, you can dress it up. I'm just saying that if you have an illness like this, life isn't over. You don't have to. There's nothing to be ashamed of. In fact, it made me stronger, made me more self-aware. I'll say it's definitely my superpower. I have a very hard job where I see men complain constantly about how I can't do this, and I'm like, I'm doing it just fine, and you don't even know what I got to carry with me every day. And all I hear is like, oh yeah, well I didn't sleep enough last night. Well, I got an illness that makes me fatigued constantly. I'm here, but they don't know that. And then when when you see what other people complain about and like what I have to deal with, it's like, oh, wow, you really don't understand how strong you actually are. You just go out and take advantage of every day. So the crock pot is definitely is great.
Yeah. No, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Yeah. I would say, that's something I really admired. I'm like, this is a grown man. Okay. He cooking his own. When I first met him, I'm just like, so responsible. Like, when he's open to me about that, I've never dated someone that, had a health condition. So it was very new to me. And I was just like, how can I support you? I'm researching all my academy information. Like, okay, why are you doing this? They say to do this. You know what I mean? Just, not trying to be overbearing, but it's just like God brought us together in that sense. Like, what are the odds? He has this situation. I'm a dietitian, and I'm always going to prioritize health in my household. And I mean, that's just something so pivotal. I know we're kind of going off a little bit with dating, but find someone that takes care of themselves, man. If y'all want to be together for the rest of your life, as long as you can live, make sure they prioritize their health. And you guys are doing it together because it is a collective effort. And, through sickness and in health. I mean, maybe you're not dealing with an ailment right now, but you never know what is to come, later on, where you guys might have to adapt and change. And I know we always go here every Friday, and I get it, but you got to be able to pivot. That's life in general. So, I mean, I just admire you, babe. Like, just, taking that with stride. And I get mad sometimes when you turn into a pumpkin at 9, but I'm like, okay, I get it. Blame the UC. University.
Blame it on something else.
Yeah. So,
to kind of talk about my childhood, I was not an athletic kid at all. Very big into video games. I also had awful asthma till about the age of 13. I had the nebulizer and the inhaler in every drawer growing up. I get an asthma attack from basically anything. So I really didn't run my first full mile. I was about 19 or 20. But right after getting into fitness, 19 and 20, and then 21, this happened. And it's like, well, damn, I was just now getting the swing of it. The guy was like, hold on now. But it's it kind of, I wouldn't say it hindered anything. It just kind of made me realize, all right, you just got to take more care of yourself. This is different. And that's pretty much it.
And I love that attitude. It's not something that sets you back. It's just, I got to take better care of myself.
Mhm.
And when people start to dig into it and understand the biggest killers of people in this country are all food-based illnesses, it's clean up your diet, and everybody will live a longer life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just clean up your diet. And then healthy does not start with just your diet. It's think about your workplace. Think about the people
Yes.
you have in your life. Think about your mental health. Think about the music you listen to.
Oh man, that's a
You cannot go out here and say you want a healthy lifestyle, but everything you hear is about killing and murder and then selling this and doing like healthy start. It's a lot of
Right.
of healthy. Come on, like people forget about that too. What are you feeding yourself?
Mhm.
Everything is connected.
Yes.
Well, thank you for sharing that, babe. I know it's 9, so we're gonna let Kayla go and just close this out. But thank you for being so transparent. And I mean, if you guys learned something about us, we just, thank you for just allowing us all to just be vulnerable so far. But the things that we have dealt with in the nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
And also, if you ever have any questions to me about UC or you just want to reach out to me at all, my personal IG, you can find it through our Love at First Sight, our page on Instagram. But I'll go ahead and add my personal. Can I add to the comments?
Yeah, I'm typing it now, but yeah.
Oh.
I mean,
I'm here. Okay, she got you.
She got me.
So we'll give Kayla the floor.
So how I tie into this, I have fibroids, and I just found out last year. Was it May? It was like, almost a year ago is when I found out. So how I found out was my cycles have always been very painful. I'm in the bed day 1, 2, and 3 normally. I can't move. It's just consistent pain. I'll take Pamprin. I'll take what's that thing called? Heat and pad and everything. And it's still like just consistent pain. There'll be times whenever, I was just taking Pamprin and it may go away for about 30 minutes ish. And then it's going to be right back. So I always thought that was normal. I thought, all girls go through this. Oh, they all in the bed. And with time through talking to different women, I found out that no, girl, I take my Pamprin and I'm up partying, or I'm up, doing different things. I'm out at the, the functions. And I started seeing that, okay, this isn't normal after looking at some research and seeing some things. And so decided to go to gynecologist and say, hey, I think I have fibroids or something is going on. And so did the test, did the ultrasound, did all of that. And I do have 3 fibroids. And unfortunately, one of them is in an area where it can prevent, I can't even say it because I hate saying it, but it can keep me from having a child. And, as a woman, like that's something that, we want to experience, whatever. So to hear that this fibroid is in the way of that, I was like, hell no, whatever, like I'm going to get rid of it. I'm going to figure out what needs to happen. And so went to the doctor, gave me all these options, and everything that he had given me was basically a Band-Aid to fix it. There's still more research going on, trying to figure out what the cause is and everything. Like people, say it's, perms cause it, or because it is higher in the Black community for Black females than it is whites. So there's different research out there why it happens. I'm not really sure why it occurs and what makes it happen, but just know your girl got it. So that's why I'm like, hey, what's the fix? So there are, myomectomies you can do, and just different treatments surgery wise that you can do. But everything that he told me sounded like a Band-Aid. And I have a friend that had myomectomy and the fibroids came back. So she had to do it. Yeah, she had to do it twice. And as I'm researching and following these other fibroids gurus and stuff, they had myomectomy as well. And it's growing back. It grew back. So they went the health route with eating healthier, like greens. Greens are good. Green tea, just different things, berries, all the berries, eat all the berries. and take out red meat, pork, all of that. And they were able to get rid of their fibroids naturally. So that's the journey I'm currently on, trying to get them gone naturally. And, you know, I got, like Kelvin, got my boo, trying to help me on this journey, because yet I did have, you know, my cycle on my birthday, but last year I had my cycle on my birthday as well. So it kind of made me happy because I'm like, okay, it's getting regular. So that made me happy. So I'm still learning. I'm still trying to figure out how this all works and, you know, what I need to eat and what I do not need to eat. And it's still a fresh journey, but diet is the main thing to get rid of it. If I don't continue eating properly, working out, then they're going to grow. And, you know, we may not ever have a little Kaylamar if, you know, I don't get it together. So I do put a lot of pressure on myself, I think, because of that, because I know, you know, you want to be able to give your love, you know, that boy or that girl. So that's where the, like Kelvin was talking about, the self-love comes into play, where I'm not putting that pressure on me and I'm being realistic. And I'm, you know, like he said, the music, I love listening to self-love music. I love the, you know, NDRE. I love the Alex Isley, you know, just a whole bunch of people that just uplift. That helps me out a lot. So I've had to learn that, you know, I have this and it's okay. And I spread the news. Like as soon as I found out, June is Fibroids Awareness Month. So I was posting every day on Facebook something about fibroids. And I'm glad I did, because I got 3 DMs from women saying they went to the doctor and found out they had it as well. And they didn't know. So all the information I get, I put out there. And this is why I think that this panel is so powerful as well, because, you know, none of us are all about holding it in and like, oh, this is my little secret. I'm not going to, you know, like, we're going to tell what we know and what we've experienced, because you never know who you can help. So that made me feel really good. And now these women are getting their proper, starting their journeys and, you know, not having that pain, because it hurts really bad. Sometimes I'm crying, I'm throwing up, and it's every month I have to go through this. Like my family, I send them a text saying, hey, I hit my cycle. And they're like, okay, they know not to call me. I don't want to talk on the phone. I don't want to text. Like, yeah. I'm shut down. So yeah, that's where my journey comes into play. But diet is, nutrition, health is very, very important and able to get my baby. Like, get me.
And I would say one thing I'll interject, Kelvin tells me, you know, because, you know, like it's probably gonna be a while before we decide to have children, get married and this and that. He always tells me that, you know, 2 is still a family, you know, even if you can't and that time comes and maybe that's just on the cards, 2 is still a family. So that's something that, I don't know, I will say that he shared with me that makes me like, okay, takes the pressure off. Yeah. We got Pinot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We got Mansa, and you know, Mansa even showed us, like, you know, maybe we may adopt, you know, or whatever. We're open to that now, even more now because of Mansa, because we adopted him and how much joy he's put in our life. So yeah, you know, there's options. But
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. Anybody have any questions for Kayla? Everybody's saying hormones going crazy. I will say JD asked, did you take birth control when you were younger?
I did not.
Yeah.
I had a patch, but just to be honest, I didn't use that thing. I didn't use that thing. I was so scared, like, because, you know, birth control, people are like, oh, I'll gain 20 pounds from using this and using that. But I mean, you know, it's better to gain the weight than have the baby. But I mean,
right.
I wasn't messing around like that, so I wasn't.
Yeah, no, I recently had an IUD I took out after. I never had been on birth control, and I got on it January 2021, and literally went from, I mean, I was 200 pounds and like crept all the way back up to 240, and it was just like, dang, like, you know, I will say, diet and exercising pretty, you know, well, but it creeped up on me, and I was just having sharp pains down there, and it really wasn't until I met Kelvin, like he just kind of like, yeah, if it bothers you, take it out. You know what I mean? Like, take it out. Like, why not? So I got it removed September of 2022. So, I mean, weight starting to regulate a little bit more now. It's easier for me. I'm not feeling the mood swings or angry anymore. Periods aren't painful when they would come. So I don't know. I just feel like same thing. Listen to your body, do what's best for your body, and be in tune to that. If something hurts, it doesn't feel well, like advocate for yourself, especially with these doctors who, like Kayla said, will sometimes put a Band-Aid on it, because working in healthcare and seeing, I work at multiple different buildings. So I see it from a long-term care point of view. They're elderly and they kind of just, you're old, you're hurting, you're going to, you're going to be hurting. And then to an acute care where it's like, all right, we got to get this patient out of this bed. Like, you good? All right. Like, it's just pain, and a lot of health it sucks, but it is a lot of wait and see, because it has to get worse before they can kind of figure out what to do. I know that sounds really, really bad in saying that, but that's true in a sense too. So we say that to say prevention is the best cure, and really listen to your body, take care of yourself, and advocate. And it is scary to go to the doctor. It really is, but what's scarier is not knowing, and then something happens.
Yeah.
So that's a part of growing up. You know what I mean? Get a friend to go with you if it is something that, is feeling funny or whatever the case may be. Just my bit of advice with that.
Yeah. I want to say too, don't be afraid to switch doctors too, because the one that he was just trying to push just different pills and stuff on me, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. Like, that's just a Band-Aid. I was like, what other options? So, I'm in the process of finding a new one, but I'm just like, I'm not feeling him. And Marcus, Marcus was in there with me, and Marcus asking all the questions like he did. And Marcus was like, about him too. So I was like, yeah, let's get a new one. So
yeah, you got to do what's best for you. This is your life. I get that.
Yeah. Well, we thank you guys for being. I know we went like 10 minutes over, but I think that was great. I mean, we didn't even prepare.
Yeah. We just
Y'all wouldn't even know. I'm just playing. I was talking to myself on the way home. I'm like, okay, nutrition. But no, I just appreciate you guys coming on. This week, Saturday, we have another mental health walk. So if you guys are free, we'll be on Instagram. You can either go to Kaylamar's Instagram or Love at First Sight. Either way, we'll be a dual live together. Me and Kelvin actually be in the same screen, so it'll be bigger.
Yeah.
It's been like 3 weeks since we've seen each other. I'm like, But that's what we'll be doing. We'll just have I don't know, just random. It's nothing planned or formal. If you guys want to pose topics about mental health or just talk about your week and just have some friends to chat with. We walk for an hour? Yeah. So maybe get 1 mile, 2 miles in. It might, hopefully it's beautiful outside. And if you guys don't have anything else. So awesome. I got to come to live. And perfect on Saturday.
It was a great way to start the Saturday.
Yes.
Oh my God. I got so much done that day.
I did too. I just felt like I'm good. Yeah.
I started cleaning up. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
Old R&B. I'm like, no, I really needed that like dopamine. I felt listened to. I felt like it was like a therapy session. Like, I need to get that off my chest. Like, so, and even if you guys can't make it with us, like go out on Saturday, go for a walk, get some just a mindful moment, talk with yourself. It's scary sometimes, like hearing what's going on in there and saying it out loud. But if that's something that's going to give you that clarity, to propel you better in starting a fitness or nutrition journey. A lot of times it's all these other things you have on your plate and you just don't even know how to compartmentalize these things. Always realize that you have one skin suit. It's your only skin suit you got. As much as you tear it down and neglect it sometimes, it has never failed you. So the body is very resilient, and we just encourage you, if you don't take anything else from this panel, just to take care of yourself. Take care of it. It's the only one you got.
Yes.
Only one you got.
Great.
That's my closing words. You guys want to close out and say anything?
Go ahead.
Go ahead, baby.
For me, I just want to just repeat, just pay attention when your body tells you to stop. Just pay attention. It will always tell you. And the more you listen to it, the louder it gets, the more easier it is to recognize the signals. And the more you ignore it, the quieter it gets. So just your body's going to tell you. So just listen to it.
I would say just do it for yourself. Have your motivations. Yes, if it's your child or, outfit, whatever, you use those motivations, but overall do it for yourself. Otherwise, I hate to say it like this, you gonna fail because those are temporary motivations. So yeah, do it for you always.
Yeah.
I just want to add, just make the best time you have with this human experience, a very short one. Take good care of yourself, take care of others, but you can't take care of anybody else unless you take care of yourself first.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. Well, we'll end this live. We just want to thank everyone for coming through. We got JD Forever Podcast. We saw Keeping Up with the Griffins in here. Meet and I know some of you guys in the bushes, your favorite couple. That's just some people that I'm kind of seeing in the chat that we're just talking throughout Cooking with the Catrins. Is it Catrins?
Catrins.
Catrins. Okay. I'm sorry. I was like, catfish. I know they cook a lot. So I got hungry saying the name. But thank you guys so much for just coming in the live. We hope to see you guys Saturday. We'll be saving this. I'll figure out how to clip the first part where we were just blah, 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 and get the meat of the situation. So thank you guys for tuning in. We hope you guys have a good night. And y'all all want to do the Eddie Murphy. And we are. Bye, y'all.